Hey, welcome to our episode of Chaz Beer Reviews. Doing kind of a special beer tonight from Equilibrium Brewery out of upstate New York. Möbius American Porter, 7% ABV, beer balanced by science. Looks like this was canned on February 7th of this year. So about 5 months old, not too bad. Doesn't say anything about it on the can, though I did bring up the brewery website here, and this doesn't say much either, other than 7% and, the usual hyperbole. I'd love to know the hops and malts and all that stuff. All right, so let's get it into the Spiegel Stout glass, and that is even darker than the Worldwide Stout coming out. That is almost black. Pours to a big, brown, what I like to call the car wash sponge head. Yeah, nice looking porter here. And remember, this is not coffee or magic ingredients or whatever. This is straight up just American porter. So let's give it a smell. Yeah, surprisingly, I get a lot of hops on here. I'd call it, pretty citrusy, but not to the extent of a black IPA. There is definitely a roasty character there, almost like a cold brew coffee in the background. Almost like a little bit of a oat or lactose character. They don't mention oats or lactose on here, so. But yeah, to me it smells kind of like a coffee shop kind of aroma, plus, a little bit of like citrusy hops on here. Even the brewers don't tell me all the ingredients. I need to know all that stuff. So let's dive in. Cheers. Left-handed tonight. Wow. Lots going on here. Same thing I said on the aroma. It's like that coffee house kind of character. Like when you walk into a Starbucks or like really any coffee house. So actually nice roast on this one. Just straight up roasted malt. It's definitely reminiscent of coffee. There's no, as far as I can tell, there's no actual coffee in here. So yeah, like a nice roastiness to give it some bitterness. And at the same time, I get those citrusy hops I was talking about. It's interesting because it's not to the extent of a black IPA, but it's enough hops to like really notice for a dark beer. Up front, it's a little sweet. Like I said, almost a little oaty or lactose-y. Kind of reminds me of like a English style sweet stout or oatmeal stout. I don't believe it contains either ingredient. I think that they would mention that if it did. And this actually, to me, kind of borders on, like they're calling this a porter. And to me, it seems more in the stout category. I should know. I wrote a whole book. How do you find it? Here it is. Well, I should say I wrote half a book on porters and stouts. By the way, there's a link in the description of all my videos. I have a bunch of these books on my bookshelf here. You can buy one off me on eBay. I will sign it and mail it to you. So straight from my bookshelf to yours. Yes, lovely a chocolatey flavor in there. I would probably call it more like the dark chocolate. I mean, there is a sweetness in there, but it's not nearly to the extent of like so many pastry stouts and things like that. Also, because you still have that roasty malt in there, it's giving it quite a bit of bitterness. A little bit of citrus, right on the apex. Oddly enough, this is 7% ABV, strong, but not, intense imperial or anything. The mouthfeel in here is, I'd call it only medium. All right, well, maybe it's medium full. I would say it has a fairly creamy texture. Not to the extent of like a Goose Island Bourbon County, it's not that thick and luscious and all that, but also the carbonation strikes me as being rather low. So this is like really, really drinkable. I don't know if I'd go as far as say low, but definitely medium low. But yeah, real smooth, really drinkable, no alcohol presence whatsoever. Yeah, nice kind of, mix of, coffee, chocolate, citrusy hops, but restrained, I will say. Like it's not, punch you in the face bitterness or punch you in the face hoppiness. It's a nice balance. My only qualm is that Again, they're calling this a porter. To me, it seems more like a stout, because stouts are more in that roasty coffee kind of range, and the porters are more fruity, like dark fruit flavors that you tend to get from the hops and malts there. By the way, read How to Brew. That'll tell you all about that. But yeah, really good beer. Great drinkability on it. This was pretty expensive though. I think it was $8 for this one can. But yeah, worth it. Yeah, so I'm gonna go pretty high. I think I'm gonna go 4.5 out of 5 for the Möbius American Porter. Beer balanced by science. Cool. Yeah, nice to see that we're actually able to get this brewery here in Florida now. Although I found them at weird places like Bubba Goose Burritos. Well, I did get that at Total Wine, so that's a good sign. Yeah. All right, so if you watched all the way in, you know you're awesome. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys for Tuesday Night Beer School. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it. Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Review.
Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.